we as software developers and software makers really believe in that phrase or that word, iterative. It's
Yeah.
like part of our core. But
Sure.
everyone else out in the world does not really understand, in my opinion, very well like we do. Like, it's part of our DNA, this idea of iteration and the benefits of iteration. Almost no one else gets that.
That's so true. And you find that in the tech industry, you find it also in the media industry. And it's one of the principles that I try to I try to reinforce in my own company, that we have to be iterative in a process that's traditionally not that iterative. Usually everything is very process oriented in film production, where you have to lock the script in order to move on to pre-production. You have to lock all of the assets in pre-production in order. And then if you change anything along that flow, you're really screwing people up. You might be wasting resources. But then you've got another style of doing all this process, which is very iterative. And you've got, I mean, you can call out filmmaker names that do this incredibly well. And you can tell that they're almost like making it up on the spot based on what feels right, which is more of it's definitely an iterative style of doing any work. And often, what does that mean? It means like shorter feedbacks, like shorter loops, right? And more responsiveness. And you're making decisions in the moment that are based on real-time feedback to that moment, not decisions that were made 3 months ago. And that's the way to do great work, in my opinion. It's just that when you're working with so many resources, and as I said, in film production, mission critical, we only have one truck full of props, and it's only got a certain set of props in it. Therefore, we can't really make too much stuff up on the fly, because our resources are limited. But there's kind of ways of doing both, I think. I mean, you guys would be able to speak better to like mapping the metaphor together to the tech world and development world. What are the decisions that you needed to have made 3 months ago that lead to a decision that needs to be made today when you're building a product, for instance?
Good question. So much in software is malleable. So there's so many things that you can back out of relatively easy. And now there may be like specific technology choices that you make. Data structures can come back to bite you later or cause you to make a different decision down the line. But man, we iterate a lot and we try to take small steps, and so you're never making a one big leap. You're making 5,000 little steps. And so that's just flexible and awesome. And there are moments in time where maybe you actually go to production and like, now we have a version 1.0, and it's like there's certain things we're locked into until we break changes and move on to version 2. But for now, we're locked into these particular decisions that we made. Of course, backwards compatibility is one of those things where it's like we are stuck to our past decisions. But until you go 1.0 or until you ship to the App Store, it's so easy to iterate and change and just move on the fly because it's all just bits,
Yeah, that's true. And that can be a difficult thing about working with clients in tech, is that they expect a post-production process to be closer to what a tech process is going to be. Which it's often not. With post-production, you can't undo a lot of decisions. And so you can't be quite as iterative. So we've got these founders that are maybe like technical founders, and they have a new idea to throw out, and they don't realize that undoes the last week of work that we did on accident.
Right. Or the video's already been uploaded to YouTube and they finally want to make a change. And you're like, you actually can't. They won't let you re-upload. You have to delete it and upload a new one.
YouTube.
Oh, I know.